Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.
Welcome back, everyone. You know, one of the great things about what we do is when you talk to people and you talk about what drives them, you know, what organizations they're involved with, you hear the most amazing things, and most times it's the simplest thing. Well, prior to the interview, I was talking to one of my guests, Diana, here, and they're involved, both of them are involved with Shelters of Saratoga. I'll tell you about an event in a minute. But when I was talking to Diana, I said, you know, when you volunteer and homeless people are coming through the door and whatever, you know, what is it like? And she said, you know, people just really would like to feel good about themselves. And, you know, I don't mean in the morning when you look in the mirror and you decide what shirt you're going to put on or something. You know, it goes so much deeper than that. Joining me today are two people involved with Shelters of Saratoga. Diana Burke, who's a volunteer and also co-chair, right? Honorary chair for an event that's happening on August 22nd. And someone who's been here before, Rosemary Riedhammer, who's Director of Marketing and something else, Development, right? Good, okay, got it. For Shelters of Saratoga. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
In thinking about, you know, the ways that people feel good about themselves, it doesn't take much for you not to feel good about yourself, right? You can fall into hard times pretty quickly, and all of a sudden, you're without a rudder, right? You've heard that
That's
phrase.
Right. That's
you know,
right.
When people come through the door, Diana, what strikes you about that?
I look at them if they're downcast, and I like to put a smile on my face and welcome them, and just bring them in and make them comfortable.
Yeah.
And
let them know that somebody
that
cares.
we care.
That's
that
right.
we care.
You know, you said to me before, and it struck me, they thank you.
They do. Just a simple, how are you today? And they'll come back and say, thank you for asking me.
Right. Because, you know, we tend to think, oh, downcast, push aside, you know, ooh, don't cross the street, oh, be careful, there's somebody who's homeless or whatever. And, you know, any one of us could find ourselves in that situation there for the grace of God go I, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're from all walks of life.
Yes, right.
All walks, all ages.
Uh-huh. Wow. Rosemary, you've been involved with Shelters for 3 years now, or something like that, right? I remember when you were here last year. Tell us a bit about Shelters of Saratoga, what services you provide, so that the viewers can just get a sense of the organization itself.
Sure. So we provide homeless services for individuals that could be working. They could be, you know, they could have some health issues. The programs that we have right now are, of course, the Code Blue program, which is the emergency winter shelter.
Yeah, sure.
And then we also have the outreach program where we're meeting individuals' needs on the streets and making trusted connections with those individuals in the hopes that they will utilize our drop-in center that's twice a week, where they can take a shower, do laundry, have a meal. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then the ultimate goal is to get them into our sober shelter on Woolworth Street. There's 2 shelters that serve co-ed individuals, adult individuals. And we have about 400 people that come through the shelters a year.
Wow.
So that are using those services. And that shelter is set up so that individuals are getting suitable employment, finding housing, anything that they need to stabilize themselves as far as social services are concerned, mental health, things like that. So we're
I think that, and I know this from working with a lot of different organizations in the community that offer services for people who need help. And stabilizing them is probably the most important word there. That, you know, if you're offering services, and there's no time limit on the services, by the way. Some people need a little more time to adjust. Some people's personal issues are more serious than other people. There was something you did tell me that kind of stuck in my mind, though, that, remember the numbers, 400 people they're servicing, a total of 800 people in Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties, that half of them are actually holding down jobs, but not earning enough income to be able to afford housing.
That's correct.
Boy, think about that one for a second, right? You are trying, and you just can't make it
That's
meet.
right.
What is that like when someone comes to you with that situation?
Well, of course, the counselors are great at the shelter, and they work with them and they try to help them. So we try to set them up. They have meetings with the counselors every week, and so the counselors really do try to help them find
Identify what that
what the
issues
problem
are.
is.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure, and
absolutely.
help them with a solution.
Absolutely.
Right, right.
Yep.
So it isn't just a handout. I hate that when people
No.
think of it this way.
It is not.
That it's really a handout. Right?
No, it is not.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Now, the event is called One Fine Day. And this is, boy, you took, let's face it, thankfully you didn't pick a Saturday night in August, right? Oh, I have a friend of mine said he puts his tuxedo on at the end of July, doesn't take it off till Labor Day. Because there's so many events. This is Dark Day, Tuesday, August 22nd, and from 1 to 4 in the afternoon at Saratoga National, great place to do it. Are you doing a tent?
Sure
Yes.
are.
You sure
Yes.
are, okay. And tell us about the event, Honorary Chair.
Well, we are expecting a couple hundred people.
300.
300. Wonderful.
Good, great.
And we're looking forward to a great turnout. We've got some great auction items, silent auction items. And it's good to see the people mingle and the different ones that, and we talk about the shelter too.
Sure.
So that if people aren't that familiar, they will be when they leave.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, we've got music, Jeff Brisbane, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been a guest on our music show. And you've got, tell us a bit more about the day, the
Sure.
afternoon.
So Jeff Brisbane, who's been a huge supporter of ours, both he and his wife Teresa, they're great people. So he's going to be singing. Heidi West is coming with her crew
great.
from Lifestyles of Saratoga, where they're going to bring the pop-up shop. 100% of the proceeds that they sell that day are donated to the shelter. So we're grateful for that support. You know, she's very community-minded and just a wonderful person all
Oh, I'd
around.
second
Yes.
that. She's been a guest here. We know her.
And then Artisanal Brewery is actually providing the beer for the afternoon. So we're looking forward to a great turnout that day.
And 100% of the funds that they raise are going to Shelters of Saratoga. They got a reachable goal, 50,000. Quite honestly, I think they're about 2/3 sold already. So those of you out there that may have not heard about the event, would certainly like to contribute to help Shelters of Saratoga. Here's your opportunity, Dark Day, Tuesday afternoon. What could be better than going out to Saratoga National, hearing about the good work that they're doing.
That's right.
And also contributing a bit to make certain that they can continue.
Yes.
So, real pleasure to meet you, Diana.
Thanks.
You know, it takes quite a bit to be a volunteer. It really
Yeah.
does. You go right in the trenches, right?
I find it very rewarding.
Yeah, I bet
I
you
do. I
especially
do.
in something like this.
Yes.
And I'm sure those people are very appreciative
Yeah.
of your efforts. And yours too, Rosemary.
Thank you.
It takes a lot to do this day to day to day. I know it does. And it's such a worthwhile organization, Shelters of Saratoga. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank
All right,
you.
don't forget, Tuesday, August 22nd. Is that the Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's August 22nd. 1 to 4 o'clock, Saratoga National. That's it. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.